went back to win the World Amateur Gold after having a pro career in Chicago, and then they spotted who it was.
Anyway, round two.
Nevertheless, yeah.
Yes, round two of the scheduled 12-rounder, and Ruslan Chagaev, the challenge in the black shorts against this enormous Nikolai Valuev, the reigning WBA champion, putting the title on the line here tonight for the fourth time. And Chagaev, well, he, as Bob said, he livened up towards the end of the first round and used most of the first round to take a look at what he got in front of him, because it's an experience he never would have had previously.
Yeah, I like the way he's doing this. He's not getting involved. He's not thought, right, I'll press forward and I'll beat him on the inside, because that just isn't going to happen, because the guy's so big. He'll just wear you out. He'll lean on you. And Chagaev is relying on his ability to outbox him, and he's thinking, how do I do it? You know, he's prepared to give away a couple of rounds to the jab and you know, maybe just steal them if he can, but he's not putting too much into this. He's thinking out the problem.
Well, the problem he has, Bob, you know, he doesn't want to let too many of these rounds drift away, does he?
Well, he doesn't, but at the moment he's not letting this one go. Yes, decent right hand then from Valuev, but Chagaev, well, he's looking for the left hand over the top already, and believes that, he looks as if he believes that's a fight winner, but he's not putting full weight into it.
Well, also histories against Chagaev here. Uzbekistan have never had a world champion at heavyweight, and equally, I think he's only the fourth southpaw, Bob, to box for the title, isn't he?
Not sure about box. Certainly there are only three that have won it. Mora, Michael Mora, Chris Bird, Corey Sanders won the WBO version.
So looking to become the fourth.
Yeah.
So historically, it's not a good sign, is it?
No, it isn't. But Valuev, well, we were thinking about this earlier, and we can't find a southpaw certainly of any note on his record. They've steered him clear of them, and who can blame them? But that's a good left hand from Chagaev.
Indeed, and the left hook from Valuev was very poor. So a bit of punch picking then going on here. From Ruslan Chagaev, who's keeping his distance pretty sensibly. Despite being outreached by 11 inches, I don't think Valuev's landing too many, Bob, is he?
No, Chagaev's just dropping back, just taking that little step, watching for when the jab comes, steps back a little bit, makes it fall short. Then he's too far away to counter, but he's at least stopping Valuev making an impression.
I wonder whether Valuev is actually taking this one very seriously, Bob.
I think he is. I think he can't do much. I think, you know, this is hard for him. He's not used to fighting southpaws. Again, he can spar all you like, but this is a clever one. This is not just a guy who fights the wrong way. This is a guy who is capable of outthinking him.
Yes,
he's got to learn to make his weight tell. Sorry, Steve.
That's okay, Bob. I'm not just about to say that Nikolai Valuev actually took the title off John Ruiz, and that's the man that was beaten last time out by Chagaev. And the coach there is Manuel Gabrielian, Valuev's coach. He's a tiny man as well, isn't he, Bob?
Yeah.
But he's the boss. Round three then of the scheduled 12 rounds, WBA heavyweight title. And the big champion, Nikolai Valuev, fourth defense for him, against a very game and determined and useful challenger here in Ruslan Chagaev, who got on the inside there and chipped away with a couple of left hands.
Yeah, I think he landed them. I think he's beginning to think he can win this now. He's worked this out. I'm not sure. The second round was very close. He landed his share. He is punch picking, and he stopped Valuev working.
But this is the irony, Bob. Valuev hasn't got a left hook. He doesn't even know how to spell it. And yet Chagaev is going the wrong way here. He's moving on to his stronger right hand. If Chagaev would only move around to his own right, he'd completely nullify half of Valuev's body, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but he's worked it out. He's happy they're going that way. And he's looking for his own... He's looking... Well, he can, but I think it's probably the sheer size of the man. He thinks it's safer to go that way and look for the left hands over the top. And Valuev's not landed a punch yet. And Chagaev, well, those little clipping left hands, they're starting to work.
Well, I saw Chagaev box several times in the amateur ranks, including the Olympic Games. And as Bob said before, you know, he was a professional before he reverted to the amateur ranks, and then he got found out. And I think he had 4 pro fights, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. And then turned pro a second time in Uzbekistan years later. But this is sensible stuff from him, and Valuev's getting confused here. His jabs are falling short. And that's another left hand. All right, it was... what's the matter with the ref
Well,
there?
he trod on his foot.
Well,
Which often happens, of course, with the southpaw against an orthodox fighter. They do tread on each other's feet. It's one of those things, because the leading foot is just a fraction of an inch away often.
I'm not sure why the referee really stopped it there. Neither of them was inconvenienced in the slightest.
It happens all the time, Bob. You've only got to look at it.
Yeah, and they're going to carry on doing that. It's the way the fight is, and they'll know that. But still, on we go.
Indeed.
And I like what Chagaev's done in this round. He's hardly taken a shot.
No, well, I don't think Valuev has actually landed anything yet, has he? Apart from that jab.
Yeah, that's going to say, just as we spoke, he landed a jab. But most of the way, Chagaev he's not doing much, but he's just poking away.
He's doing enough, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
He'll nick this round.
Well, 22 seconds left. One good shot could alter it all, of course.
He just took a decent right there from Valuev. But by and large, I think Valuev's landed one jab and one right cross so far. And by and large, it does appear like Chagaev could have nicked this round.
Yeah, he's not doing much for the last minute, but in the first 2 minutes, certainly he landed the better punches. And that's what he's looking for every time, isn't it?
Yep, indeed it is. So around then for Chagaev there, just pulls one back, 28, but he's still around behind at 29. Round 4 coming up then, and well, looks like Chagaev just nicked the third round. He did not a great deal in the last minute of that particular round, but might have just done enough prior to that. And worth mentioning, by the way, in the last year, Chagaev's really begun to cut his teeth. He beat a man who'd gone to become the European champion, Vladimir Virchis. Also had a win in 8 rounds over Michael Sprott. And, of course, that win over John Ruiz, which got him this title shot.
Yeah, I love when Ruiz boxed, as that left hand goes in again from Chagaev. Ruiz boxed Valuev, defended his title, was to lose it before. He said, I can't miss him, he's got a head the size of a Volkswagen. But he did miss it often enough, and Valuev beat him. No, not too many people complained, but...
well, it was a majority, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And then Chagaev beat Ruiz on a split, so... Not the best of luck recently, Ruiz, but swings and roundabouts, he's had luck in his time too. So, on with this, Chagaev doing the same thing again. Just moving, watching, chipping away. Valuev, well, waiting for something to happen almost.
And by the way, if you're wondering what the difference between a majority decision and a split decision is, over to you, Bob Me.
Majority decision, 2 votes for one boxer, and the third card a draw. Chagaev again catches him cleanly to the head. The split decision is 2 to 1. 2 to 1 boxer, 1 to the other.
So now you know. Well, Nikolai Valuev, pace-wise, this is about as good as it gets. I mean, he does maintain his pace from first round to last, but there's nothing explosive about him, Bob, is there? No,
he's got stamina. He's going to feel he's going to trap this little man in a minute. He's going to get there in a minute. Yeah, he's getting a few flicks in the face, and he's not been troubled by anything. But at the moment, Chagaev's an irritant. And you can feel him almost thinking, I'm going to get there in a minute. Yes. I'm going to land this in a moment.
At the moment, Chagaev a bit too quick for him, too nippy.
Yeah.
And, gets through there again.
And he's beginning to put punches together. It's not the single left hand anymore, is it? It's 2s and 3s.
Well, this is the most competitive round we've had so far, principally because I think Valuev realised that he was in danger in the previous round.
He's tried to step the pace up, but he's not managed it. Chagaev's that's that left hand again. And this is a sensible performance. If he stands in close, he's going to, even if he gets nothing, he takes no solid shots, he's going to be worn out physically, because Valuev will lean all over him, and that's just too much. There's over 100 pounds difference here, and that's going to be leaning on the back of his neck and his head and his shoulders. So he's employing the right tactics. Whether he can keep them up for 12 rounds, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's not a great deal in this 4th round, is there?
Well, I think Chagaev's winning it. I think he's boxed intelligently.
I'm saying there's not a huge amount in it.
No, the difference is clear for Chagaev, but it was 1 session out of 12, wasn't it?
Sure.